Hey, do men care about women appearance? Who cares? Okay. The question is, do you care about your own appearance? Do you care about the way that you present yourself to the world? Let me share something with you. So I was having lunch after church one Sunday, and there was a young lady. She was under 30 years old, but over 25. And so I saw her getting out of the Uber, right? And so as she's getting out, she's walking to the restaurant. And in order to do that, you had to pass the window where I was sitting. So I would see her from behind, right? When I tell you that this young, beautiful lady had her behind out, and I'm not talking about just a little bit. No, you could see literally this much of her bottom cheek was out in a restaurant, right? And so she walks into the restaurant, right? And of course, everyone's looking at her, right? And so I just happened to be able to say hello to her, right? Because, child, y'all know I talk to everybody. Okay, I never met a stranger. That's just my personality. But anyway, so I said, hello. I said, how you doing? She's like, oh, I'm fine. And she seemed well spoken, educated. She was very friendly and very cordial to me and very respectful, as an older woman that I am, right? And so, we just was very cordial. So anyway, I said all that to say, you would never know that this woman was a very intelligent young lady based upon the way that she presented herself, right? So I know women say, you know what? I don't care what people think. I can wear what I want to wear. That's true. You can wear what you want to wear, right? But there's consequences to that, right? And of course, you care about what people think about you. You care about if people think that you are a woman that's friendly with men. Okay, you care about that. Now, this woman was very intelligent and well spoken, but who would have known that, right? If you just look at the package that she was presenting to the world, right? But listen, I said all that to say, you want the world to see the way that you truly are, right? Because one of the things that you want your outer to represent your inner, right? Now, you are, I'm sure, a very intelligent lady, well spoken, educated. Maybe you are even a trailblazer. You are maybe an inventor. You are maybe a business owner or a college student. No, you could be doing all these wonderful things, right? But no one would know that, right? If they looked at you at face value, right? If they looked at you just from the outer, right? You want your outer to represent the beauty that is inside of you, right? And I'm not trying to say, and I know, you know what, hold on. And I know you may be thinking, you know what, you're just saying that because you older, Auntie Star. You're older, so you don't know. Actually, I do know. Because a popular thing to wear when I was coming up, okay, was to wear Daisy Duke shorts and a half top, right? So I had some Daisy Duke shorts and I had a half top that I would wear. Now, I wasn't allowed to wear that outside, so I would sneak it out in my backpack. But one day I decided, you know what? I'm going to just wear my little outfit and I'm going to walk to the door. Okay. But I had a mother that told me you need to go in that room and cover your tail. You better put something else on. So I'm telling you this, baby girl, cover your tail. Now, listen, I am not trying to tell you to dress like you are 90 years old. I'm not trying to tell you, listen, there's nothing wrong with showing a little V. Look, child, look, I got me a little V showing. Okay. And I'm 57. Hello. Okay. I'm not saying that it's, not okay for you to show a little V or, or maybe even a bigger V because you're younger. Okay, so work it while you can because it's gonna be dropping soon. Okay, and there's nothing wrong if you have an hourglass figure and you show your hips and you or a nice bottom and you're shapely and you're curvaceous and listen, there's nothing wrong with showing that. Okay, but cover it. Right? Because when a man looks at you and you say, oh, well, he's looking at you up and down because you have your bottom out and because you're showing too big of a V. Okay, and too much of this is happening. Okay, but then you'll be offended and mad when you looking and he's looking at you up and down and he wants to take you to the room. Okay, then you'll be offended, right? Because you'll say, oh, you're just looking at me like I'm a piece of meat. Well, baby, you're showing all your meats. Okay, stop showing all your meats. Okay, then he will look at you in a different light, right? And you say, well, baby, if you're a young woman and you want to be married, you want God to send you a husband. Well, I hate to tell you this, but most men do not like for their wife to show a big V too big. Okay, and show all their cheeks out. Most men don't like that in a wife. Now, listen, they will look at it, right? They will play with you, but they won't stay with you. Okay, listen, that's just the way that men are. Men are visual, right? But when it comes to them selecting a wife, they prefer a wife that's a little more covered. Now, I'm not saying wear a turtleneck. Okay, but you know what's appropriate and what's not. You know what you're doing when you wear your cheeks out and you wear your all this is happening. You know exactly what you are doing, but you cannot then turn around and be offended and say, "Oh, you know what? He's being, he's looking at me a certain way and I don't like it." Well, baby, you're showing him the whole package. Okay, when you just provocatively, it's almost like giving someone a Christmas gift that's unwrapped. Right? Listen, you give me a Christmas gift, right? And it's not even wrapped. Listen, I see you already gave me a toaster. Okay, it's a toaster in the box. It wasn't even wrapped up. I see it. Okay, and everybody else can see it. Look, she bought me a toaster. Okay, she bought me a toaster because it's not wrapped up. Everybody can see it. Well, it's the same thing when you go out the house with your tail showing. Okay, listen, cover your tail. Show some respect for yourself. If you've never had a auntie or a mother to love on you or a big sister to tell you that, I'm going to be that for you. Cover your tail. Show some respect for yourself. And if you are shapely and you have a wonderful figure, or if plus size and you're curvaceous, there's nothing wrong with showing that, but show it in a respectful way, right? You know how to do that, right? Because you want your outer to represent your inner, right? Come on now, beautiful queens, right? Represent yourself well. Be the beautiful woman inside and out that I'm sure that you are, okay? You are made in the image of God. You are God's masterpiece, right? So represent that. Show the world that you are an incredible woman by the way that you present yourself on the outer, okay? God bless you. And remember, do not ever give up before the miracle happens. God bless. Bye.